Walt Disney.
Yes.
Beloved figure of our pop culture.
That's how they get you. Yada, yada, yada. She eventually causes her own husband to be burned to death.
And that makes me so happy on cold nights. It especially ended badly for the idiot Peckerwoods.
Have a bottle of scotch. Okay, that's twice that he's mentioned redheads. It is un-American to get in the way of our freedom to restrict people's freedoms. That was the point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know plenty about these things.
But
I love me some Bobby Drake. Yeah, well, if that's all we've got, then we're being really lazy.
Yeah. Y'all bone.
You can literally poke a hole in it as soon as someone gets pneumonia. Well, I'm not as old as you.
Well, haha, motherfucker, I got a wizard. To the real world. I'm Ed Blaylock. I'm a world history teacher and part-time English teacher here in Northern California, right now doing all of that through an internet connection. And who are you, sir?
I'm Damian Harmony. I'm a full-time Latin teacher teaching full-time distance learning through an internet connection up here in Northern California, and for this foreseeable future. We'll see how long this lasts. So I know, in my own case, my district has indicated that we are not going to go back any sooner than January 14th, which is interesting because word has also come out from Solano County, where my district is located, that if Solano County doesn't get their house in order quickly, they're going to go back into the purple tier. Yeah.
Which, for those of you not in California, in the roadmap to reopening our state's economy, purple is no, you can't do that.
Yeah,
that is the most restrictive tier, and
Here's how bad it is. You hope to be in the red, and I've never known any time in my life where I hope to be in the red. I don't even like medium rare steak. Like, red is never something I want to be in. Like, that's just not how it goes.
Yeah, well, you and Vincent Valentine. I'm a race car in the red.
Yeah.
Race car in the red.
Yeah. So
motherfucking race car in the red.
Vincent Vega.
Yeah. Thank you, Vincent Vega.
But we are still in negotiations. Still.
Well, yeah, because that's the state of existence in your district.
Yes. So
you're either in negotiations or you're on the verge of strike. And it's just not really, in the time that I have known you, and certainly most especially in the time since we started doing this podcast, I have never known your district to be in any state other than one of those two.
I was doing the math. The kids who graduated from me last year were kids who were born largely because of 9/11. Literally because of 9/11. Okay. In their time in school, when they were hitting about second or third grade, very formative years, the housing bubble collapsed. And you had tremendous economic destruction happening. People were living with other families. Like, it was a very bad time, and there was a lot of uncertainty and chaos. By the time they got to high school, we started having smoke days where you had to take the day off because the world was on fire. Yeah. We started having, we almost went to a strike. Then we did have to go to a strike. Then we had the Parkland shooting, which then spawned the copycat stuff that we had to deal with, of a bomb threat and a live shooter threat, both on the same day. And then the next year, COVID hit. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. Then the next year was the strike. Then the next year, COVID hit.
And was another actual strike. And then the year after that, COVID hit. Yeah.
These poor kids.
Oh, yeah.
They've
been through.
Yeah. It's 6 shades of bad for them. So
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. Speaking of horrible times.
Yes.
And
the Depression was a horrible fucking time.
Yes. And it led the way for fascism. Now, as of this recording, we're 4 days from deciding which way we're going to go on that. So that's fun. But in 1943, there were several countries that were very much headed that way, and there were several who were like, no, we don't really like that. And there was a whole war on. Everybody showed up. It was a good time.
Yeah.
So we have been talking about Batman for the last,
yes,
4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. And
really,
so,
okay, to be honest, I've been talking about Batman ad
yes.
nausea.
Yeah.
My wife actually, for those of you in the audience, Damian already knows about this, but at the end of our last recording session, my wife had come down at one point in the middle of us recording and had been puttering around in the kitchen and left. You may have heard her in the background. Don't know. But when I went to bed that night after recording, she said, "So did Damian do any talking?"
Such is the power of this podcast.
Yeah, like with a smirk on her face, because she's giving me a hard time. But
sure.
yeah, so I held forth at great length, or although maybe not great brightness, but at great length, about the history of the comics and my central thesis there. And so I had thought in the process of doing that by bringing the history of the comics up to, the 80s, that I had been teeing you up to then go into the history of the movies.
And you had.
And I had, but in our conversation after we finished recording, I found out that no, the history of the films goes back like way fucking farther than I had even imagined. Like I knew there was the 68 film, which was, based on the TV series. But, I had been thinking, I know I'm flaking on the name, the director of
Tim Burton.
I had been thinking Tim Burton was, like the genesis of the character on the screen and on the silver screen. And turns out I was like way ridiculously fucking wrong.
Wrong by about 45 years. Yeah.
Yeah, by a very, very long period of time. So
yeah.
So enlighten our audience and maybe give them the same, mind blown kind of moment that I got there. Where does this start in cinema?
If we want to understand Batman in cinema, we have to go back to Ubu Roy. No. The look I just got.
You beat me to it.
Yeah.
Because I was going to make the same joke.
No, that's...
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you can tell that one of us has gotten his master's degree and the other one has not. I'll give you 3 guesses which one of us it is who, spent the time doing the research and the historiography. Not me.
Well, fun story about getting my master's. During 2 of my historiography classes, 2 of them, 2 different ones, the professors, independently of each other, said specifically when writing, because, they're like, okay, now we want like a 4 to 5 page historiography. I was like, all right, cool. And they looked straight at me and they said, Damian, no more than 6 books. And I was like, really? And they're like, it's a 4-page paper. You don't need 10 books. And I was like, but I need to address like the historiography. I need to look at like all the seminal works that they're like 6 books maximum. Okay.
Tops.
And what I always pointed out was that, and everybody else was just like astounded because I was also teaching and all that kind of stuff. And what I always pointed out was that, in fact, other people could do more with less. I was deficient. That's why I needed all that extra books. And I think there's some truth to that.
Okay, I get where the imposter syndrome attacks you along that angle.
No, I really do think that it led me to being better read and all these things that you've known me as. Yeah, okay. But I do think that other people were able to analyze deeper and better on the books that they did. Whereas I did a change over time. If I had more data points, I could chart it. But they were able to really get in there and like just hash it up between 2 of them.
Okay, so more an issue of your perception. I'm not necessarily going to give a great deal of credence to your interpretation, but your because where the fuck do you find the energy? Dexedrine is a hell of a drug. Is the only answer I can think of.
Except I don't do anything.
Yeah, I know, which like is fucking unfair. But So the what I get from that, or kind of what I take away, is your perception was other people were able to get, an inch wide and a mile deep,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to go mile wide and an inch deep.
Yeah, to get the same volume.
Okay.
Yeah.
The same amount
Yep.
of. Okay. All right.
So,
I can understand that. Yeah. Still, you chronically leave me feeling woefully underprepared whenever I'm going to be doing a topic.
Because I pick my topics, like
This is true.
So, but
But
okay,
anyway,
so we got to go to 1943, which is what, 5 years after Batman came out as a comic. Came out in 38.
4.
Oh, okay.
39.
39. Okay.
Trying to remember, but anyway, yeah, it's been a week and I've forgotten all my dates.
Sure.
But yeah, 4 or 5 years.
So 1943, we have the first Batman on the silver screen, but it's not a true movie; it's a serial. But it still counts. So it's, I believe, a 15-part serial, and it stars a man named Lewis Wilson, who was the youngest man to ever play Batman in a movie. He was 23 years old at the time.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and unlike the Superman movies where like everybody who plays Superman is somehow just fucked, Wilson seemed to live a pretty decent life, deciding to leave behind show business after about 1954. And he eventually went to work for General Foods, and he married a novelist.
Really?
Yeah. And he dies at the age of 80 in 2000.
All right.
So in many ways, he was a thoroughly unremarkable person. And I think that's a really good thing, honestly. If you were in the movies and then you have an unremarkable life after, it's better.
Yeah, I think yeah, based on the way the rest of those biopics tend to go.
Yes,
is that's the best way for things to end.
Mm-hmm. So
quietly in your bed, surrounded by your loved ones.
Now this movie had Robin in it, and Robin was played by a fellow named Douglas Croft, who was only 16 when he played Robin, who was also the youngest to ever play Robin.
Logically.
Okay. Previously, he'd played the young version of Lou Gehrig in Pride of the Yankees.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And much like most of the people who play Robin, his life is bad. He dies at the age of 37 in October of 1963. I just point that out because the very next month something else happened. He dies of alcoholism-related ailments. So
that's a bummer.
Yeah, it was. Like reading, I was like, oh, this is sad. So it was a 15-part Batman and Robin series, a cinema serial, and it was just called Batman. And it was, as most things would be at the time, set in World War II because it's 1943. And in this one, Batman is somehow a secret U.S. agent, and he's aimed at defeating the Japanese and their schemes to take over Gotham.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Sure.
All right, so it's 43.
Yes.
So we're in the middle of WWII.
Yep.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he's working as an agent. So Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Working as an agent of the U.S. government.
Yes.
Fighting the Japanese.
Who are trying to take over Gotham. That's right.
Who are trying to take over Gotham.
Yeah. Yeah. In a 15-part serial.
That I kind of want to watch that now just because that sounds like the kind of thing that Philip K. Dick would have written as like an alternative history Batman.
Yeah.
Like in a parallel universe, this is who Batman was. Like there are so many elements of that are not Batman.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, at some point he brandishes a gun. Like some of that was Batman-y.
Well,
at that time.
In 43 that was still pretty Batman-y because that's before CCA.
Yeah.
So, the prohibition against I will not kill, I will not use a gun. He was still, fighting mobsters and crime syndicates.
Well, now he's fighting the Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah. Who are from a real country defending a fake city.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Okay, and
Yeah.
there's a certain level of license and kind of forgiveness that I think we kind of need to give the production team here, because it was 1943, and everything wound up centering on the war, whether it did or not. So, I mean, I can kind of understand that, but like, do we know? Is there any record of like there having been a representative of the Roosevelt administration in the writing room going, you know what? It'd be really awesome if we could get Batman behind the war effort. Like,
No, not really.
Okay.
It's just they're trying to cash in on people's interests, and honestly, like you said, the war has infiltrated most writing rooms, and we know that this will hit hard, and so let's take Bruce Wayne's girlfriend Linda and have her uncle get captured by the sinister Dr. Daka of Japan, who I found.
I just want to throw in here, that's not even actually any kind of Japanese anything. Daka.
No.
But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So Dr. Daka of Japan has captured Linda's uncle, and Dr. Daka is actually, here's a fun one, played by the same guy who played Rasinoff in Beau Geste. Now that is absolutely narrow casting, because my dad and I love the movie Beau Geste. So Rasinoff is the schemy little mousy fuck who ends up he has a very hyena-like laugh. He ends up being kind of a toady to Sergeant Markov. So he plays Dr. Daka. And it seems as though they were ready to make him into the Joker because his hideout is in the Funhouse. But World War II, so let's make him Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
World War II, so anti-Asian racism. Okay, cool.
Yep.
By the way, since this guy played a character named Rasinoff in another movie, I feel like I need to ask the question, even though I already know the answer. I'm assuming this is a white guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
A white guy who looks vaguely ethnic, though. You could make the case that perhaps he comes from Siberian ancestry, maybe. So, yeah.
But he doesn't even really actually look Japanese, or did they in fact go yellow face?
Oh, they went yellow faced. I mean, as much as you can in a black and white movie, because it's 1943.
Yeah,
so
I know, but still.
The guy who played him was a guy named J. Carroll Naish, Naish.
Okay.
I guess it's pronounced Nash, and he's actually just an Irishman from New York. So.
Okay, well there you go.
But so here's Dr. Daka, who.
Okay, but wait, I gotta hold on. No, I'm sorry. I gotta back up a bit. So, Bruce Wayne's girlfriend.
Yes, Linda. Yes.
Okay. Her uncle.
Yes.
I'm your father's best friend's former roommate. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Okay. No, Carrie is not on this one. She's in the next one. Is Linda.
Well played.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, Dr. Daka, in his sinister plan, is going to steal Gotham's entire radium supply, so that his ray gun has unlimited power, and then he can dissolve anything. And he doesn't just have goons. Dr. Daka has an electronic brain device controlled goon who does his bidding for him. You with me so far? Remember, this is a serial.
Yeah, I understand, but why does the city of Gotham have a radium supply to begin with?
You know, it never really gets answered. And I would point out it's radium. Like, it makes shit glow. Like, it's what makes glow in the dark watches work, or like young women lose their jaw. Like it's not.
And have their hair fall out.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Batman and Robin capture one of Daka's goons after a brawl, and they take him to the Batcave.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're getting back on familiar.
Yep.
Back on more familiar ground here.
And then they threaten that the bats are hungry. So the goon, of course, caves. No pun intended there, actually.
Well, because men of weak intellect like that are vulnerable to fear.
Right. So the goon lets on what the plans are, and the game is afoot. And so cereal, ray gun, alligator pit, racism. Uncle is an electrified brain implant zombie. Train derailment, victory plans rescued, and the bad guy falls to his death in his own alligator trap in episode 15.
Wow.
So yeah, that's...
Okay, so now here's another question. So something occurred to me. How much of that overwrought weirdness is an artifact of that having been a serial script?
A ton. Because the serial is going to be the same setup punch every time. And then you got to end with the cliffhanger. So you got to get more and more out there. So you almost don't need the plot to hang together. So long as you can get me from the end of one to the beginning of the other, you've got me. And then just, you know, we can resolve that somehow and then go.
These were all like in the same spot as cartoons before the main feature of a movie.
Yeah.
Presumably.
Yeah. Now, here's some things that set out or that kind of stand out about the serial. First of all, it's set in Gotham, but it has the real world intruding, like I said, a real country.
Okay, yeah.
Secondly, he's got the Batcave. This is the first time we ever see the Batcave, even to the point where the comic book responds by making there be a Batcave. We're going to see this again and again, where the movie inspires the comic. Yes. And at the time...
Okay, wait.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck me.
Okay.
I somehow that particular detail was not something that like came up again. This is what happens when I'm the one writing the episode notes as opposed to Damian. You'll notice that nowhere in my 5 fucking episodes I spent on it, magnum opus about the history of the comics, did I mention when the fuck the Batcave appeared?
Because to us it has always been. So why would you go looking for when it started? That would be like saying, well, when's the first time he had a cowl? Like, to us, Batman is defined by like 3 things: the mobile, the cowl, and the cave. Like, those are the things.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah,
so,
granted.
I give you a big pass on that. Because, shit, if I hadn't found this in this movie, I wouldn't have known.
All right.
So,
fair
but
enough.
At the time, it's called the Bat's Cave. Apostrophe S.
Because it's full of bats. It belongs to the bats.
Right.
Yes. Sorry, that's a possessive. The Bat's Cave.
The cave that belongs to the bat. Yeah. Singular.
Yes.
Singular possessive.
Yeah.
By the way,
the cave belongs to the bats.
Yeah.
The cave that's filled with the bats.
Yeah.
The Bat's Cave.
The Bat's Cave.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I had to do a little bit of Gronk there.
The bat as a collective, yes. The Bat's Cave.
Yeah.
Alfred was in this one too.
Oh, really?
And he was thin, proper, and competent. In the comics, he was chubby and bumbling, which I really think that both of us missed out on calling this podcast Chubby and Bumbling.
Yeah.
So there's no
Did
bat.
we, though?
It's not too late. Starting in episode 101,
There we go. All right.
Now, there's no Batmobile. And largely this is due to budget constraints.
Well, yeah, because if you're going to have a Batmobile, you have to have a fucking car.
Well, Alfred drives them everywhere.
Okay, wait.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
So what we're saying here is that Alfred in this serial
he's the wheelman
he fills the role of Kato to the Green Hornet.
Yes.
Who Green Hornet, of course, being semi-Batman with a manservant.
Yes.
Thoroughly deconstructed, of course, in the recent film. But wow.
Yeah. They also don't have utility belts. And I think most importantly, he's legally sanctioned by the U.S. government because censors didn't want vigilantes in the movies.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, okay, because this is post Hays Code.
Yeah.
So vigilantism would not be smiled upon.
Right, especially at this time.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Yeah.
No
now,
kidding.
This particular serial can't help itself but be hella racist.
Because it's 1943. It's
Yeah.
the middle of World War II.
Yeah.
The bad guy is the Japanese.
Yes. They mention his skin, his eyes. There's also, I don't know if you know this, but in Gotham, there's a little Tokyo.
I had not realized it, but okay.
There is one for this movie, at least. And now here's where it gets really fucked up. It's almost entirely deserted because, quote, this was part of a foreign land transplanted bodily to America and known as Little Tokyo. Since a wise government rounded up the shifty-eyed Japs, it has become virtually a ghost street. End quote.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
You are fucking kidding me.
Nope. That happened in that movie.
I need to find a video of that for when I teach U.S. history.
I think we can find it.
Because like, no. I need you all to see this. This is how this was presented at the time.
Yep.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
Oh my God, I don't have anything to say to that. Like, I mean, I have plenty to say, but it's all the same phrase over and over again. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's move on to 1949 Batman.
Yes, please, quickly.
So there was another serial that came out in 1949, and this one is hilarious. So Columbia released another serial of Batman with nobody being the same. It was called Batman and Robin. And this time it stuck much more to the comic world that was created. His love interest was...
God.
Yeah. Well, because the war is over, you know. But his love interest is Vicky Vale, who 1 year prior had been introduced in the comics.
Yes. Okay.
He works with Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Now, throughout this serial...
vigilantism is still not smiled upon, so he's got to have some kind of partnership. Yeah.
Yep. This serial, they take on the Wizard. Now, the Wizard has a remote control that can control all the vehicles in Gotham. But, of course, it requires diamonds to run on. Hence, all the heists.
Okay, you know what? I'm still more behind this than the radium weird-ass gun. Like, okay, no. This one at least follows kind of standard comic book logic.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
that's true.
The other one was just like wacky, whack-doodle. Like, okay,
we're gonna throw shit together.
I gave my 6-year-old a tape recorder and just listened to what he wanted to say the plot was.
Yeah.
This one I look at and go, okay, knowing anything about science or physics or electronics or automobiles, I know none of that shit would actually work.
Right.
But within the confines of, you know, it's comic books, I can at least look at it and go, okay, no, that hangs together.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this is at a time where
if I know that if I know that I'm in comic book mode, I can go, all right, okay, I can see that. Tell me more.
Yeah. Okay, so I would just like to point out that it's 1949. So vehicles are not like that old yet as a part of the American landscape. So I could see some anxiety about them losing control. I mean, left-hand turn signals were not like stoplights were not particularly common. You still had the cop out there to do it, and prior to that, it was the Wild West.
Yeah. No,
so
I understand what you're saying. I think it has less to do with vehicles themselves being a novelty, and it has more to do with now they are everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. They're ubiquity.
It was now they are ubiquitous. Nobody has horses anymore.
But it's still...
By this time, that has been completely done away with.
But in your parents' generation, like if you're a kid in 1949 going to see the serial, in your parents' generation, they still remember a time without cars. Fairly recent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's a time without automobiles is still within living memory.
Yes.
Yes.
So now, this time, there was no budget put into costuming, apparently, or props or anything like that. So all the things that make Batman Batman were just the most slipshod costuming, the shittiest devices, the shittiest everything. The entire serial almost entirely takes place in the daytime. Batman's outfit is clearly not made for the actor at the time.
Oh, Jesus.
His name, by the way, is Robert Lowry. Here's a fun fact. Robert Lowry and George Reeve appeared in an army training film called Sex Hygiene.
All right.
I watched it. Because how could I not? Of course you did. He had a fairly long career that saw a lot of guest spots on a lot of TV westerns and stuff like that. So Lowry was a
working actor.
A journeyman.
Yeah.
You actually get to see Batman doing detective work, though. And at one point, he goes undercover and infiltrates the Wizard's gang. But this particular serial is a lot less remarkable, except for the fact that it's so shittily done and has no budget, especially the outfits. I want to say that the car that they're driving is like just a Mercury. It's bad.
I'm crazy about a Mercury.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're complaining.
Well, because it's Batman.
I'm going to buy me a Mercury and cruise it up and down the road.
There you go.
Don't know what you're talking about.
So that's the serials, which start getting played in the 1960s in film festivals to start them off. Like a lot of, college towns are having film festivals, and they'll play the Batman movie and stuff like that. And the result is that inspires the TV series. With the resurgence of these serials being rediscovered, the TV series is seen as a viable possibility.
Okay.
And
then
you go.
Some executive heard that, hey, the college kids are really into watching these old Batman serials.
And laughing their asses off at it.
And they got money to burn.
Yep.
Like, okay.
Yep.
Okay. That makes way more sense than I wanted to.
So this brings us to the 1966 Batman, the famous one, the Adam West one, the Burt Ward one, the one where you've got the four main bad guys. You've got, the Penguin, the Joker, the Riddler, and Catwoman. You've got all of them in it, and it's this wonderful. It's frankly the inspiration for what Thanos did in Avengers Endgame, or in Avengers Infinity War.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he snapped and everybody turned to dust.
So, and something occurs to me that Catwoman. So the series only lasted 2 years, and if I'm remembering right, there were 3 actresses who played Catwoman. Yes, Julie Newmar.
Yes,
who forever is going to be my favorite. Eartha Kitt, who's a very, very close second. And right now I'm blanking on who the third actress was.
She was in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's because I believe Julie Newmar was physically unable to do it, and I forget why. I might have the notes in here as to why, though.
Okay.
So fun story about the 1966 movie version of Batman.
Okay.
You got to set the Wayback Machine to about 1988, 1989. My little brother is 4, so we're talking 88, 89. He has PJs that are of Robin, and he has PJs that are of Batman, and he prefers the Robin ones because they're much more colorful. And on the back of them, they have like a Velcro yellow cape, and they got the little R and the red and all that, right? So my parents we live in Bronson, Florida, which is a town of about 804 people at the time, and when we moved out, it was 800. And my brother and I were home watching on one of the 3 channels that was available, the Batman movie. My parents had gone off to a concert because living roughly in that same town was Bo Diddley.
No shit.
I went to school with his granddaughter. And she was kind of an asshole.
How have I known you this long and I haven't, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my parents are at my high school gym. Now, again, I'm in 5th or 6th grade. My parents are in my high school gym at my town's high school, the Bronson Eagles, the Fighting Eagles. And my parents go to that concert. And they're having such a good time that they decide, let's go get William, Jesus Christ. I will never not mix up Bowie and William for some reason. And I'm sure my brother's going to hate that. And my son will eventually. But they say, let's go get Bowie and Damian, because this is really, really fun. Well, Bowie and Damian are sitting at home watching the Batman movie. Bowie in his Robin PJs.
Get up. Yeah.
So they come get us. Now it's like probably 20 miles to get back to our house because we're in the middle bumfuck nowhere. We're like way up close to the taint of Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they come get us. They take us back there. Bowie is still in his pajamas.
Okay.
4-year-old Bowie in his Robin pajamas, jamming out to Bo Diddley because of this movie.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So.
And by the way.
Yes.
Just because I had to look it up because
Sure.
it would drive me nuts otherwise. Lee Merriweather.
Thank you. Yes.
Was the third actress to play.
Yes.
Catwoman. So because of this movie, your brother attended a Bo Diddley concert wearing Robin pajamas.
Yeah.
There we go. That's why your brother has more nerd cred than I will ever achieve ever in my entire life.
Yeah, he started young.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so this time, this is one of the movies that everybody knows, right? Adam West, who's never really quite escaped the TV series and the movie stink of his campy-ass Batman, and Burt Ward, who claims his dick was so big that he had to take dick-shrinking pills to get the series right with the League of Catholic Decency.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had somehow managed to miss that particular detail.
Oh yeah.
About his time in the green shorts, but okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I mean,
yeah.
I knew that he had for a long time made a very great deal of just exactly how much tail he caught.
Yes.
Because of that role.
Yeah. Yeah.
And while he was in that role.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, at the time, I'm trying to remember here. I want to say that Adam West was in his late 30s or his 40s at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And Burt Ward was in his 20s.
Late 20s, early 30s, I want to say, yeah.
Early 30s.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And just had, boyish enough boyish enough features and figure.
Yeah.
To get away with playing, the Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
So, yeah, he's shrinking his dick so that the League of Catholic Decency doesn't come down on the show. Yeah. So this is the guy that everybody remembers. So
yeah.
Now this is again the plot where the world's leaders are all dehydrated into Thanos dust by the Penguin, Riddler, and Catwoman and Joker.
Yeah.
It's a beautifully campy movie.
Yeah.
Here's some production notes though.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Yes. Yes. So did you know that Jack LaLanne was in a scene?
No.
Yes.
They had a stunt cameo by Jack LaLanne.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch this movie because I'm gonna love it on a whole different level now than when I was 4. Holy crap! Okay.
The movie was actually made to increase interest in the TV show because the TV show was already running.
Yeah.
The TV show came about partly, like I said, because of the 1943 serial that was getting popular again because of film house festivals where they'd have, quote, a night with Batman and Robin. And people loved the serial, so the TV show comes out.
Yeah, yeah.
The TV series is intentionally campy, and some say that's what comics were at the time. They're not wrong. Originally, it was meant to be a Saturday morning TV show for the kids, similar to like The Lone Ranger or Superman. But CBS fucked it up.
I don't think they did. I'm just gonna say I don't think. I mean, I think at the time that they made that decision, everybody was like, "What are you doing?"
No. They fucked it up as in they lost the rights to it, and ABC came in and gobbled it up.
Oh.
So ABC grabbed it up from DC.
Oh, okay.
ABC then turned it over to 20th Century Fox, which then handed it over to William Dozier. Now, William Dozier had a production company called the Greenway Productions, and he did the Green Hornet and Batman concurrently at the same time. The problem here, though, is that Dozier hadn't really read Batman when it was handed to him. So he did do research by reading as many of the comics as he could, and he decided that it should be campy pop art in its style.
As opposed to the Green Hornet, which was a much more serious, gritty detective series. I mean, notably with Bruce Lee in the role of Kato, kicking ass, taking names, like only Bruce Lee could. And still having to be second fiddle to a white guy.
Yeah. So anyway, this particular series went that way, and ABC and 20th Century Fox did not think it should have gone that way.
Really?
So, yeah, he said it kind of in opposition to the Green Hornet. He's like, well, we're already doing this, so let's go this other way, because remember what else is coming out at that time is all kinds of broad brush, like psychedelia TV shows. You got the Partridge Family, the Monkees, and shit like that. So a lot of counterculture is on TV.
Laughing.
Yeah. So the espionage...
Very interesting.
Yeah.
But stupid. Yeah.
So a lot of the espionage novelists who were set to dig into writing the scripts were stunned at how he decided to envision it. And so it really threw a lot of people for a loop based on their expectations. He went camp, and everybody was thinking he was going to go serious. Also,
interesting.
He was the uncredited narrator.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in stately Wayne Manor. Really?
Yep. Yes. Gotham City.
Oh, God.
Gotham, the city that never sleeps, but this time the Riddler's here. That guy. That's William Dozier. So
nice.
It was totally formulaic. It was absolutely mainstream in its appeal, and it was a very successful TV show. So here's some fun interplay with the TV series. Barbara Gordon, which is the commissioner's daughter, who later becomes Batgirl.
Created for the TV show.
Yes.
And I remember an interview with her where she found out, and I don't remember whether they told her this or if she read something that wasn't necessarily supposed to be something she saw as the actress, but she found out the character had been created to increase audience interest amongst, what was it? It was men from 18 to 50 and girls under the age of 13.
Yes.
And she said, and I read that and I went, well, okay, based on the costume, I can understand why one of those groups is going to be more interested, but where does the other one? And then apparently she ran into somebody at a convention, and it was somebody who had been a girl, at the time the show was on, who said, oh God, now I can't remember the quote, but it was something like, anytime I see a scene where somebody gets their head kicked in, I think of you.
Wow.
And she was like, okay, well, that's how that worked. I guess
they were right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Dozier came up with her for the TV series for those reasons. Then it works its way into the comics 1 year later. So again, you see interplay between the screen and the page. She was played by a woman named Yvonne Craig, who also played the Green Orion slave girl named Marta on Star Trek in 1969. Wait. Yep. I'm looking it up because I don't believe you.
Okay.
You're kidding me. She was the same. Holy crap. Oh my God, so many parts of my sexual awakening are explained right here.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So
all right.
This approach obviously catches a lot of flack for the TV show, but really it is kind of representative of comics in the 1960s. You've got overwrought language, clever use of angles, non-lethal everything, lots of primary colors, etc., etc. Comics were campy, even if they weren't trying to be, because that was what the genre was because of the CCA.
Well, okay, because of the CCA and because this is also I'm trying to remember when Warhol became Warhol.
Late 60s, early 70s.
Okay, so this is the era of pop art.
Yes.
And I'm trying to Warhol is the only name I can think of right now. But the art form had become it had flanderized itself.
Yes.
At this point.
Warhol really gets going in the early 60s, but yeah. So, but the silk screening and all the colors, yeah.
And so, yeah, you're entirely on the money that the comics had not yet had a generation react to what had been done to the art form by the CCA.
Right.
So Congress said, we're going to regulate you unless you do something, and the comic industry went, okay, well, we don't want that now, do we?
Yeah, we'll self-regulate.
And tripled down on no, we got to make sure they don't come in here and mess with us. And so and so we have all the restrictions on storylines. And then that has a knock-on effect on the artwork, which has a knock-on effect on
the movies,
the scripting, which then has a knock-on effect on every other medium that winds up being tied into it. The movies, TV series, everything else.
Yes.
And at every one of those steps, like ripples expanding out from a pond, you get a magnification effect. And so, by 68, that is almost, actually I'm going to say that is in the comics, 68, 69 is the high watermark for the comics being about as campy as they got.
Yeah.
Because it was then in the 70s that you had a new crew of writers come in and go, okay, no, I've gone back and I've reread the original material, and we need to go back in this direction.
I think there's also a cultural shift that happens because of all the failures of 1968. You have, you essentially have, RFK getting killed. You have the tanks coming into Czechoslovakia. You have Charles de Gaulle getting elected. You've got a huge surge of conservatism. By the way, you got Nixon. You've got a deepening of the conflict in Vietnam. The world is getting shittier. You've got the rise of barbiturates, much more than psychedelics and pot. Even the drugs take a different take. You've got a lot going on in 68, 69, all the way leading up to Altamont in 70. I think it was in 70. And so right. you absolutely have all those things. So the world got darker, and the artists 100% reflect that. Yeah.
Well, the Zeitgeist moved away from goofy.
Yes.
The monkeys could not have existed in 71.
No, they could not have started. Yeah.
They could not have started.
Yeah.
In 70, that wouldn't have been a thing.
Yeah.
Just because everybody had gotten burnt out, and the goofball factor was just not cool anymore. It was not something you could get away with doing. Yeah. And so, okay. All right. So the movie.
Back to the movie. In many ways, it's even broader stroke approach to the campiness that we're seeing on TV. Adam West is fairly unflappable as Batman. And he'd actually agreed to do the film if he could be in more scenes as Bruce Wayne, because specifically he knew that eventually this Batman thing would end, and he needed people to see that he could actually act, and they needed to see his damn face. He even had a love interest with several scenes with Miss Kitka as Bruce Wayne, which of course end with him getting kidnapped as Bruce Wayne. Thus he, as Bruce Wayne, has to fight out of it, and he, as Bruce Wayne, kicks a lot of ass. So in many ways, Adam West is showing that he can kick ass.
Okay.
Now here's where it gets real weird.
For a working actor, this is a meaningful concern.
Absolutely. Now here's where it gets real weird. It was scheduled to premiere in Austin, Texas on August 1st, 1966. It was canceled. Would you like to guess why?
Austin,
Texas.
66.
Think of really aggressive Jehovah's Witnesses.
I'm blanking.
Charles Whitman.
Oh, shit.
He's up in the Watchtower.
Oh. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. We're a long way in.
Oh, I had another one earlier, but yeah.
But wow.
Yeah,
Right.
and this one was particularly dark and terrible.
This is just fucked up.
So Charles Whitman attacked the University of Texas.
Yeah.
There's actually a really good documentary on it where they illustrate as they're narrating, and they're getting narration from people. It's really good. Yeah. Find it.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah.
One of the things that I find most interesting about that is, the theory now is that he had a brain tumor.
Yes.
That his complete, like, all of a sudden change in behavior was neurologically based.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually because of that's actually one of the theories that's been put forward about the Las Vegas shooter.
Yeah.
That it was a similar, neurological thing creating that paranoid, behavior.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, that canceled the original release. The documentary, by the way, was called Tower.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So this particular movie was very much aware of its times, similarly to how the first Batman serial was. Okay, the first Batman serial was all about World War II. It was very conscious of the time that it was in. This one is also very conscious of the time that it's in. It involves the United Nations. And it sees the United Nations in 1966 as an absolute good, but also as a perpetually arguing body.
Yeah.
So, yeah. To the point where, yeah.
So the people doing the writing were paying some level of attention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And again, you've got the real world intruding on some level because it's still, Gotham. And this is to the point where the mix-up of everyone's language is actually seen as a hopeful sign to Batman. Because he says, well, at the end, remember, they scoop up everybody's Thanos dust and they rehydrate everybody. And then suddenly the guy from Nigeria is speaking English, and the guy from England is speaking Japanese, and the guy from Japan is speaking French, and the guy from France is speaking Nigerian, and on and on and on. So Batman says, maybe they'll finally find a way to communicate. It also deals with Cold War stuff. Specific.
Well, because how could it not?
Yeah, true. It specifically calls out the Polaris missile as a plot device. It also pokes fun at the Pentagon and at a glory-seeking president. If you go back to Bruce Wayne's love interest, Miss Kitka, there's an inherent distrust of Russians.
Okay.
Mostly, though, it's just kind of a fun, campy movie. And Batman is very tongue-in-cheek. And he's both wooden and superlative all at once.
And the thing is, I think within popular culture, I think within fandom, this isn't a problem. But I think within popular culture as a whole, I don't think Adam West gets nearly enough credit for managing to walk that tightrope in the role.
I think he 100% did what they asked him to do, which is be campy as shit.
Yeah.
And at that time, that's what it called for. Because remember, this is still almost 20 years before the Moore version in the comics.
Okay.
This is 1966. So it's a campy time still.
Well, yeah, but how to put it? He approaches all of that material with, as you say, he's simultaneously wooden and superlative. And watching it again as an adult, one of the things I notice is that even as he is being 110% Dudley Do-Right of the Mounties, there is a level of self-awareness.
Oh yeah,
in his portrayal that's
that tongue in cheek.
Yeah, to my dad and to all of the other, junior officers sitting there, watching the show in the ready room, like I mentioned, in my episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I think, what made it cool.
Sure.
And yeah, and I don't think, for all of his charms as the boy wonder, I don't think Burt Ward had the same level, anywhere near the same level of simultaneous. He didn't manage to actually bring gravitas to it because
Mm-hmm.
Adam West managed to somehow, through subtext, make it clear that he was in on the joke.
Yeah. It was that smirky look he had.
Yeah, he added gravitas to the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing
Yeah, I would agree.
that Burt Ward didn't quite ever manage to pull off.
Yeah, it looked like Burt Ward was trying too hard.
Yeah, which is kind of perfect for being Robin. I mean,
it really is. It really is.
You get down to it, and yeah, and I think in the process of doing all of that,
mm-hmm.
I think there was, and I may be getting ahead of myself, but I think in the later adaptations that were a response to the 66 series.
And thank you for saying that, because that's all that. Yeah.
In all of those responses, I think there was this rush within fandom,
mm-hmm.
and within the later movies themselves to kind of kick sand over the memory of 66 and be like, well, we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the urge to be taken seriously,
mm-hmm.
in retrospect, because I was totally part of that when I saw the first Burton movie and the movies that came after that, I totally bought into that narrative. But looking back on it now, I'm like,
mm-hmm.
you know what? That's doing a disservice to, like, literally everybody who acted in the TV series and in that movie. Gorshin's Riddler
mm-hmm.
is iconic.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I genuinely do not think anybody else who has played the Riddler since in on TV or
mm-hmm.
in the films has gotten anywhere near managing to capture that character that well.
Well, I think
it was. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I think that you hit on it in two spots there, especially. One, the whole series was iconic. They're icons. They are not fully fleshed out characters. They are one-dimensional,
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay, because that's what that was. But it's almost as though it was a separate genre from those that came after. But the other thing you pointed out is kind of the point I want to end on for this episode, and that is everything that came after this was 100% responding to, whether it was rejecting or paying homage to, it was responding to the Adam West TV series and movie. I don't think you could get Burton and everyone who followed after him if you didn't get Adam West's Batman.
No.
Yeah.
No. I think that's one of those very strong statements that we feel like we need to defend. Mm-hmm. But if we say that in a room full of Batman fans, nearly all of them are going to be like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that, like, no, this is the hill I'm going to die on. Everybody else is like, and I'm going to die on it with you.
Yeah, well, this Batman also is the last one who actively works with the police and doesn't work parallel to them. Because
that's an interesting note.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and we'll see that
there's
in subsequent episodes.
Yeah, there's some symbolism there.
Yeah. So, what is your takeaway from these three Batman films?
I'm still getting over Gotham City having a radium supply, and just how wildly, incredibly Yellow Peril racist the narration could get.
Mm-hmm.
And like, the historian in me hears that and goes, well, 43, World War II, etc. But the grew up in California and Hawaii surrounded by Asian classmates part of me goes, the fuck? like like really?
Interesting.
Like who the hell produced this? Was this done in Alabama? Like
No, it was Columbia.
the holy hell.
Columbia Pictures.
Yeah, no, I mean intellectually I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that, but on an emotional level as a Gen Xer who again grew up surrounded by Asian peers everywhere I went. Like I can't imagine. I just can't wrap my head around anything that blatantly racist.
Yeah, well.
And yet, I mean, like I said, I want to get a hold of it to show it to my students. Like, no, really, it was a thing, because like it's an important thing to recognize in our history. But yeah, that's yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's YouTubeable, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to look that up.
So cool. Well, is there anything that you are reading or watching that you want people to check out?
Well, right now, I'm in the middle of getting student work graded in order to let my students know, pardon me, what the assignments are that they need to get caught up on before the end of our grading period at the end of this coming week. So I don't recommend that to anybody, like at all, ever.
Fair.
And the teachers and teacher adjacent people in our audience are all going to go, yep, So yeah, I don't have anything that I'm currently reading that I can recommend. But I will say again, coming back from my episodes, I am very much going to recommend Batman Year One. Because there's going to be reflections of Batman Year One in the films that we're going to be talking about coming up.
Yes.
And if you have a strong stomach and you really want to get into developments in Batman canon, then The Killing Joke.
All right.
But I am going to say it requires a strong stomach because there is some ugly shit in there. Alan Moore himself said in retrospect that the editors at DC should have reined him in.
Yeah, he said that only a few months after too.
Yeah. It was very shortly after its initial publication. He was like, "Yeah, there's stuff in there I shouldn't have done." But as a part of the development or evolution. Development's the wrong word. As a part of the evolution of all of the characters involved, I think it's important.
Okay.
Put it that way. How about you?
I'm going to recommend a documentary. Well, it's really a mockumentary. It's called The Civil Hoax, and it's about Civil War deniers, and it's only an hour long, and it is goddamn hilarious.
Okay, wait, hold on. So you say it's a mockumentary?
Yes.
But I need to ask: are there actually people who denied the Civil War?
Oh yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have a president who denies aspects of the Civil War.
Well, okay, aspects, fine, but like they deny that the fucking thing happened.
Well, they deny the reasons for which it happened, and they say that it was other reasons. There's you got to watch it. I don't want to give it all away, but it is hilarious.
Okay.
So yes, I recommend strongly that one. The Civil Hoax.
Okay, and we both right now are at different points in our way, watching our way through Letterkenny.
Yeah, I'm second way through it, but it's a thing of beauty.
And highly recommended.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, where can we find you on the social medias?
On the social medias, I am EH Blaylock on TikTok and the Twitter machine. And on Instagram, I am Mr. Blaylock. And you can find the two of us collectively at Geek History Time on the Twitter machine. And Mr. Harmony, where can they find you?
You can find me on the Twinsta at Duh Harmony, 2 H's in the middle, both on Twitter and Insta. You can also find me every Tuesday night on a Geek History of Time. No, that's Friday nights.
That's Friday nights.
Yeah, you can find me every Tuesday night on Capital Punishment on twitch.tv/Capital Puns. Now, this episode's going to come out many, many weeks later, but I would just like to point out that my brother was on the show, as was friend of the show, Tessa, and they slayed. And then my brother went on and whooped the hell out of me and my partner, proving once again he's the more clever of the two of us.
But he didn't win.
No, of course not. It's a boss battle. It's set up for people to lose. Yeah. No.
But he did own pretty hard.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's
he did remarkably well.
Standard Big Brother fare is, oh no, you did better, and I still win. So,
all right. So much I missed out on as an only child.
Oh.
Wait, no, the other thing.
Yeah,
the opposite of that. There we go.
So yeah, well, Bruce Wayne also an only child. So.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
All
right. So for a Geek History of Time, I'm Damian Harmony.
And I'm Ed Blaylock. And tune in to catch us again. Same bat time. Same bat channel. Na 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 na.